Hello, everyone.
Hey, good evening, y'all. We are.
Welcome to Have You Met? And we've met these guys before, but we thought you should share with our audience here. Uh, Drink a beer and play a game, and that's a great combination that I love too. I'm not a. That's how I really relax is a nice cold beer. I think we did share a
Mhm.
beer at too many
Yep.
games.
We've had a few.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah. Oh
that
yeah.
was fun.
yeah. So we'll probably just get to know you a little bit better. How you got started and your channel, what your childhood was like, with getting into gaming and other hobbies and entertainment. Um, well, maybe you could talk about how you guys. I think I remember how you guys started your like how you know each other, but maybe tell the
Yes.
audience how you started your channel and how you got together, Jim and Brian.
Yeah, no. Well, first, thanks for having us on. Really appreciate it. Obviously, met you guys in person multiple times. It made sense. Like, hey, let's come on. Enjoyed sharing beers with you in person. Can't wait to see you guys again. But Jim and I, it's funny. We went to high school together, didn't know each other at all. First day of college, we had to be signed up for like a freshman project, and he just happened to know someone that I knew as well. Found out that day, oh, we went to high school with each other. We can maybe get into a story later of how I may have hit Jim with a lemon, but we'll have to say
Yes, I want to hear that.
a little bit
May
later.
have. Brian has no idea if that was actually happening. I'm sure.
But we became friends from that day. We actually had a close-knit group of friends from that day forward. And then after college, Jim and I were of the friend group, the ones that collected games the most and played it. At some point, we were just like, it would be fun. Like, obviously, we watch Angry Video Game Nerd, we watch a lot of other review channels, and we're like, let's figure out a way to get together, get away from our, at that time, girlfriends, now wives. Let's just find an excuse, get together, play video games, and drink some beer. And it was literally like, what should we call it? And a thing our friends used to always just say, we like turn into a song, is like, just drinking beers, doing whatever. And then it was drink a beer and play a game. It was like just that simple. And it seemed obvious to us. And then that slowly morphed into, what's the gimmick? When we review games, we're going to either say you need to drink so many beers to enjoy a game because it's so shitty, or you're going to need to pair it with a specific, like how they have beer pairings and alcohol pairings with food. We're like, we'll pair a video game with a beer as we go along. So that spawned into a whole bunch of other things, and we've been doing it ever since, hating each other the whole time.
August of 2013. We've been doing this for almost 13 goddamn years together. 13 years. I have to sit with this asshole once a week. So yes, every day has been a pleasure.
And it's not just for the air, because they're like, I was like, hey, I'm back there. Like, no, we're having a beer first, then we'll even before we start getting in here. I'm like, oh, okay, it's every time. All right.
Actual little peek behind the curtain to make it sound like more like alcoholics. We actually recorded our podcast, the Power Hour podcast, shortly before doing this.
Oh,
cool. So we definitely want to have you guys on ours in the future as well.
Sure.
But yeah, so we are multiple beers at this point. So we're in peak condition.
Yeah. What beer are you drinking?
Well, right. Sounds like our show over here. It's perfect. Well, I am drinking a good old fashioned Keystone Light because, as I was saying beforehand,
nothing wrong with that.
I have done other podcasts, I've done other guest appearances, and there are ones that I just do not remember. So to try and hold that out from happening, I was like, I'll just go with the Weak Boys, the easier ones to enjoy through the course of the night, because there's a buddy's podcast of ours. They don't do the show anymore, but it was called Thought Cops. And the first time we went on there, I had 4 Mad Elves. And for those who don't know about Mad Elf, it is a seasonal winter cherry warmer that comes in at what, Brian, a good 12%?
It's a 12%er.
Maybe back in the day it was a little bit more. So yeah, by the end of that, it was, even Brian didn't know what I was saying anymore. So I'm trying to, prevent that, we can say.
Okay.
And you've both met Jim in person, and for a dude that drinks as much as he does, he can't hold it that well. So after so many, Jim gets he becomes whatever. So I'm keeping it light as well.
Lovable and charming. That's what I become.
I had ironically a power. Wow, I almost said a power hour. I had a happy hour after work for our team division. And what's going on? And I had a couple Peronis there. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but that's an Italian dry lager because we were at an Italian restaurant. And then I've been having some Hams, which is just a lighter beer. And it's ironically the beer that now, every time we go to many games, when we always end up getting rooms with our buddy Dan and Joe, and we bring these because they're cheap, taste really good, and we play a lot of drinking games before too many games. So,
cool.
So yeah, we're feeling good.
I have a quick question. So I know the brand is drink a beer, play a game, but what are y'all's thoughts about expanding into seltzers and white liquor, dark liquor? What or do you anticipate any sort of spin-off, or is it just no, we're going straight in? That's the brand. We're not wavering from that. No spin-offs or what's going on?
It's funny. We've talked about that before about do you do drink a beer, watch a movie? Do you do, like you said,
yes,
do you go seltzer? Do you go whatever? We are equal opportunist drinkers for everything, to your point. So we definitely do liquor. Jim loves seltzers because, as he puts it,
the amount
so
of
refreshing.
Would you say equally opportunity? The amount of shit that you've given me back in the day for showing up on the show with a seltzer. You're like,
oh no, I still do.
You start
Shut
calling
up.
Words you can't say on the internet anymore. All these kind of things. It's just terrible. What the hell?
The point is, I'm saying I'm willing to drink liquors, Jim. You drink the seltzers. That's what I was getting to. You're the seltzer queen. We know that, and it's fine.
Okay.
But yeah, it's
hey, those, when I used to drink, those were my go-tos. You can get slammed off of maybe 3 or 4 of them. They just hit you out of nowhere. Or maybe it's just me. That's one of the reasons why I don't drink
still
anymore.
handle it better than Jim. And I remember you don't drink anymore, but you would still handle them better than Jim. But we would like to make drinking games where sometimes we would mix in liquor or other things. So yeah, it's definitely something we would consider. It's just unfortunately with the whole tagging of our name, it would be weird to be try and offshoot that.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, I actually wanted to follow up with you on the drink a beer, watch a movie sort of spinoff, sort of idea that y'all are, brainstormed or came up a little bit. Because I know y'all are especially Brian, y'all love movies, and especially Brian, he's a big horror, fan, huge. We would be talking for hours at the bar just about how he loves horror movies. So I would love to hear more about that, because Max's audience, they're gamers, they're pop culture fans and stuff. A lot of folks really love movies too, so I'm sure they'd love to hear that about you too.
Yeah, so if you see the collection behind, there's Jim's collection behind him. That's just all games. Behind me, this whole half is all horror movies, DVDs, Blu-rays. I think the last time I kept my check on top of other things I have in little containers, I have over 600 or 700 horror movies physically.
Nice.
And then the rest of me are games. So yeah, horror is definitely it's a genre I've always been into since I was a kid. I collect other Blu-rays and movies as well, but horror is by far when thrift stores were still good for me to get those, I would go there all the time. I found public libraries are actually a good spot where people drop off movies and you can pick up. But otherwise, horror movies, just like horror video games, unfortunately, man, they come with a price tag if you get them anywhere else, and they are so expensive. So, yeah, I'm just a diehard horror nerd through and through. I also maintain the largest record of horror movies ever listed on Letterboxd with over 68,000 entries, which I still update as months and years go by. So yeah, super into horror. I could literally talk horror this entire podcast, and I don't want to take up all that time. But
Ray might want that. I don't know.
We'll try to kind of what is U-turn back to the podcast, but then kind of make a make our rounds and then go back to horror.
One horror movie I just watched this week with a new friend I just met. Sleepaway Camp. Right?
Oh yeah.
And
With
we didn't
Angela
like
and
it.
the scene at the end.
I know. We were kind of half because it's a new friend that I met actually while hunting for used media. He was selling Facebook Marketplace, and he's like, "Come over to my house. We'll look at my collection." And then we watched it together. Neither of us saw before, and I didn't get it. I didn't like it, but we were also kind of distracted. We were getting to know each other. So you like Sleepaway Camp a lot?
So Sleepaway
I've
Camp
heard a lot
is
of great
perfect.
stuff.
Yeah, like it's got cult following because it's such a B horror slasher.
Yeah.
Like the bee kill scene, the when the cook like gets boiled, like all the
that's
random
cool.
things that happen. It does nothing crazy except for the reveal at the end, right? Like that was the big shock that everyone's like, oh my god. It's known more for that. It's kind of like an M. Night Shyamalan movie, right? Like where once you know the twist, it takes a little bit away from the movie. But you got to kind of put yourself back in.
All right.
It was released in like 86 or 87. I forget.
I gotta rewatch it. I was like,
I won't claim it's a great movie, but I get why people love it and it has a cult following. I'll say that.
All right. I wanted to talk with someone that appreciated it because I've heard great things about it, and maybe I put it up too high. Maybe my expectations were too high.
I would always, if you are about to watch a horror movie and people are hyping it up, I would say take it down a few notches because us horror nerds, we love our stuff to death and we will hype it up all the way.
What about you, Jim? What is your favorite horror franchise or just standalone movie? What comes to mind?
Favorite horror franchise. I mean, if I had to pick an absolute favorite, at least like for a movie, maybe the first Insidious. Like I just really love like the whole idea, the concept behind it, being haunted by the demon. And for a good, when did that come out? 2012-ish, I want to say 2011.
That's the one with Ethan Hawke, right?
I think 2010 for that one. Yeah.
No, it's not Ethan Hawke. That was The Purge.
It's the guy that's now in all Insidious and Conjurings. I forget his actual name.
Oh yes, I can see his face. Yeah, he
was also in Watchmen. Wow, what's his name? Yeah,
Patrick,
he was in Hard Candy
or something like. I'm blanking. Max, do you?
I know. I know you're talking. I'm doing the same thing.
Someone in the chat, help. but yes, I know you're talking about the Conjuring dude and
Patrick Wilson.
Yeah, I knew it was a Patrick. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah.
So as far as a movie goes, like that's awesome. And like, so when I saw that, I saw it with my girlfriend, now wife, and she has been completely horrifically horrified of Tiptoe Through the Tulips by Tiny Tim ever since, to the point where whenever we're just hanging out, sometimes I'll just start playing it off my phone and she will literally geek out. It could be the middle of a day, bright, sunny, no matter what. And it just gets her every time. And of course, me being the romantic I was back in the day, she's like, can you just please stay the night? And I was like, no, I'm going home. So I just left her out to dry, went home and played video games. And I was like, yeah, I'll talk to you on like Saturday or something. So, and she stuck around. So,
oh man, I love that. You didn't even play it off like, oh, I mean, if you really want me to, like,
I'm like, you're fine. Yeah, I know. I easily could have just, for activities, but I was like, no, I got some Fallout I want to play instead.
I thought that was like big reason guys like horror movies so much is like you watch it with an interest. You're someone you might be interested. Oh, are you scared? Or I'll stay around.
100%.
Yeah. That's and you just like I'm gonna go home and play video games.
Yeah, you're talking to me here, so I find a way to fuck everything up. But no, dunk is too much of a slam for me to not.
Like I don't want you to be scared, so I guess I'll have to stay. That's what that.
Right. But yeah, we actually do keep the tradition going. Like we've actually in the last couple months gone through a thing of wanting to watch every movie in a horror franchise before a new one comes out. So we recently went through all the Final Destinations. We just went through all 10 Saws, even though the last one came out in 23. And right now we're doing Scream since the new one's going to be coming out. So yeah, actually up until this point, I had only ever seen Scream 4 of all the Scream movies all the way through.
That's so random because some people rank that as like, their bottom sort of.
Well, it's only up from here then.
Nice. Yeah. Nowhere to go but up.
Jim has a habit of always going with the worst thing and that's like the joke always with Jim. So
Right, it's
yeah,
called
him
setting a
starting at
baseline.
4.
All right, strategic move. You get the bad out of the way, and then it's all gravy from there. But yeah, I mean, I wish that worked for Final Destination and Saw. Jesus Christ, the middle movies of those were terrible. But yeah, no, it's been a fun little experiment, just like blasting through all these movies too. So new Scream's coming out. Gonna not be able to wait to see it once I get through all these. And I think it comes out on what, the 26th of this month. So yeah, I've
man.
got 3 weeks to go through 5 more movies. I can do that.
Cool. I think I want to watch the 4 through 6 because I haven't seen those yet.
Okay. Yeah,
I've seen the
No,
first 3.
I'm excited to hear Jim's thoughts about the legacy films. I think 4 would be still considered part of the legacy stuff, and then going into like 5 and 6. And then I'm not sure if 7 would be considered part of the legacy or not. Honestly, I think 5 and 6 are all like, it's all like one timeline in my opinion. So I'm interested to see like how they're gonna detour back to Cindy. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Once they had to get rid of that main girl, that's where it's like they had to go in a whole different direction with 7. And yeah, let's see how they pick that one up.
A horror franchise that I'm surprisingly got into because of Fourth and Rhea is Terrifier. I never thought I would be Strange Marvel Theories talk about in the chat. I never thought I'm really into it now. I want to see what happens to Art. I don't know if you guys watched that. That's pretty intense.
Mhm.
And then
I've seen the first one so far. Yeah.
Don't let Rhea fool you because she used to send me like the worst clips from the series. Like, this. And then I look up like, oh, that's
You mean the best clips?
just to
I
harass
I love 1 because I think it did set the bar pretty high, and also it has like an amazing soundtrack too.
Yeah,
like,
the synth.
Mhm.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
I think 3 had wait, no, was it? No, it was 2. I think 2 like really leaned into the synth background music. So yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why I like the series so much. And then also because it's like really self-aware, and it just really leans into, you know, the schlock of, you know, over like, you know, gory sort of like sequences that are drawn out, but also legitimately like Art is horrifying. Like he's legitimately terrifying. Like I don't know if like I can say like that other slasher icons like Chucky and Michael and Jason and Freddy, like I think because I'm just so used to them like being around, like they're like, you know, characters, you know, from
They're not scary.
Yeah, no, Art is horrifying. So that's another reason I like it too. And it's like they haven't incorporated Art into like that whole like, you know, group of like popular monster kids at the table. So he's just kind of like this own freaky like little like goth kid, like, you know, doing his own thing. Like, so I really dig it. So yeah, that's like one of my favorite series for sure.
Oh yeah.
And he also became basically like an instant classic too. Like the second the Terrifier movies dropped, it's like, oh, this guy's on the map now. He'll be around forever.
I appreciate it because I think about like the people in the industry that like to create horror movies and practical effects, and then when they go for these scenes, they're like, you could tell it's like a director's director where like they're like, oh, he's going for this scene, he's going to show this, it's that graphic. How did they do this? Oh yeah, like rocking for other directors to look at, like they went there with us, they pushed it, you know.
And then you hear like, oh, the budget was $300,000 and it made like 30 million or something like that. I think the first movie, because it caught on probably I think it was Tubi or something on streaming. It just like that's where people found out about it and just like took off from there. So
I mean, Max, to your point, what's crazy is like there is something in each movie. I mean, the whole movies are gory, but we all know probably instinctually from each movie, like there's a scene that you were like, that's the one stands out. In the first one, it's the Saw scene, you know, like that one's, and to your point, I think because we are so used to seeing CGI that like, you know, when it's fake versus when you see that practical effect these days, you don't see it so often that when it's gory and practical, it has a different effect on you. So you're like, oh my God, like, this just keeps going. Like what is going on? And it's like it's a lot more visceral, but yeah, it's creepy as hell.
Like
I
they
think
just
I'm
linger. Oh, sorry. It's like they just linger on that scene. Like the camera just, focuses so much on this
Yep.
gore. Like, the chainsaw. Like, in I think it was the third movie. Like there
The
was
third one, yep.
the shower scene of like, these two kids like going at it in the shower in the locker room or whatever, and then Art just comes and he just starts massacring them slowly and just like drawn out. Like he's not like killing them instantly, which is like the torturous sort of like, oh, we have to watch them suffer as they get, like eviscerated like limb by limb, and we see every bit of it in real time almost. So that's like the extent, and it's just different from what I got from watching other, franchises. Like with Halloween, there's like, some awesome suspense there, and there's atmosphere, at least like, in some of the movies. And yeah, that would be like my favorite movie to go to for tension and atmosphere and cinematography for sure. And yeah, I think like with Terrifier, like everything I just described, it's just so like you have like to Brian's point, like this visceral, like physical reaction to what's going on. And a lot of times like I hear folks like, leaving the theater because they can't take it anymore, or they throw up, and I'm just like, y'all are just like, yeah, like it's not that deep. So sit back
Too
down.
small.
Yeah, really, I know. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice callback to Grindhouse style, and it's yeah, I like it. There's something for everyone.
And at that point about the scenes, it's like I have a buddy when I said like, oh, I'm starting to watch Terrifier. He's like, oh, did you watch 2 yet? Did you see the scene? I'm like, all right, well, I gotta fucking watch this eventually to see what the scene is, because after seeing 1 talking about like the salt, like the chopping in half, basically, it's like, all right, no spoilers. I just need to.
And 2 is like almost 3 hours long, so it's like which scene? Almost.
Oh god.
But no, like there is like the chainsaw scene, to your point, like in the bedroom, like of that girl, like getting, like I said, eviscerated. So I think that's the scene that I think of if someone says the scene. So
Can't wait.
What did your childhoods look like with getting into entertainment? Like, were you getting the video games first, movies? Was there someone that got you into it, like your parents, or like they let you watch the horror movie? Brian, did your parents let you watch horror movies, or you sneaking watch them anyway, or someone that really influenced you in your entertainment habits?
Yeah, so I'll split it up for movies. My earliest memory of true horror movies was like going to my grandmom's house. She had an apartment and she had VHSs. I found The Wolfman in black and white from 1941, watched it, and it had a pretty profound like it freaked me out as a kid because it's black and white. She also randomly had like a copy of Nosferatu, the original silent film in black and white, which is still probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite, vampire movies, because it is so creepy even to this day. For a silent film, it's still that like the scenes just were creepy as hell. But like at some point, I actually discovered, I forget if it was on cable, like we would always be allowed to go. For us, we had a place called West Coast Video. Like everyone else had Blockbuster. That was my go-to VHS spot. I went right to the horror movies. I would pick a cover based on how it looks. And one of my earliest ones that is probably my favorite horror movie because it had the biggest impact was the 1990 Night of the Living Dead, the Tom Savini remake of the original, which is almost a shot for shot same for the original, except it was Tom Savini doing all the effects, and it did change the character Barbara. But that movie stuck with me, and it got me hooked on zombies. I remember as a kid, I would like get all my action figures and create a scenario where like you would have like, oh, zombies coming through a whole city. Like it changed my feelings on everything. And then that bled into video games for me because as a kid, me and my brother, we both had NESs, Sega Genesis or Super Nintendo. And I was like, I would game pretty casually. I wouldn't say I was hardcore. And then when I got my PS1, when I was like a teenager and I got Resident Evil tied in horror and zombies, I was like wait, games can be like this too. They're not just, you jumping on mushrooms and all the other shit. Like that changed me completely. So that catapulted me into horror and gaming as well, and just everything. So I just kind of never looked back from all those experiences.
Cool.
Jim, how about you? You want to chat about, what got you into gaming and everything?
Oh yeah. So I mean, at least as far as gaming goes, the thing that got me the most into it was my older brother. So there is an 11-year gap between my older brother and me. So he was able to have a lot more stuff even at a very early age for me to play with. So one day I just remember he came home with a Sega Genesis, and it had a bundle with the original Sonic the Hedgehog. And I forget if the bundle came with it or if he just bought it randomly the same day, Evander Holyfield boxing. And so those are like the first two games that I just like. Of course, my older brother is playing it. It's like, oh, I want to play it too. So when he wasn't around to play it, I'd be hopping on to play Sonic. And so the first Sonic became an obsession as a kid. Like I remember during the 1993 World Series when the Phillies, my hometown Philadelphia Phillies, were going against the Blue Jays. I would run down and leave letters for my brother before I would go to bed, being like, "I got through level 2," being all excited about that stuff. So kid shit, and like that would take like a week for me to get that far. And from there they saw that I had the interest in gaming. I definitely did a lot more gaming than I did movie watching than Brian did, because like he can attest to this in my my ways about myself. If I get into something, I go full bore, but I only have like a couple things that I'll go crazy about for a while. So like as a kid, like I would watch Star Trek movies on repeat. I would watch Star Trek, Star Wars, and Terminator. Like those are like my three things, and I'll just rewatch them over and over and over again. So in between all that, all my fresh entertainment would either be Saturday morning cartoons, it's like X-Men, Batman animated series, Power Rangers, or just doing a shitload of gaming. So I was a Sega Genesis kid through and through because of that. But when they saw how much I would game, they actually went in the attic and brought down the Atari 2600. So, being a young, impressionable mind, that gave me the chance to like play stuff like Jungle Hunt and Frogs and Flies with my dad, or playing, Pac-Man. For as bad as that version of Pac-Man is, I have so much nostalgia for that goofy, barely functional, almost no sound effects version. It gives me the warm and fuzzies kind of deal. So like I can appreciate like the simplest of games, and I've been gaming ever since. I have a PS5. I have a computer that's way stronger than for anything I ever run on it, just to basically be able to do whatever I want. So like Brian's wall, I have these two racks behind me, as well as another rack to the side, which is the same size, that's just filled complete with Sega Genesis games. So imagine that whole rack, but just with Sega shit, basically. So, I've also always had a collector mentality that I probably definitely got from my family. And I've almost never traded in any games. I've almost never sold anything. I've just, like, once I get it, it's mine. It's my thing. I don't even care if I put it in a corner and never do anything with it again. Like, that's my shit. Like, up there, I still have, like, a Star Trek Micro Machine set from, like, 1996. Like, all kinds of crazy crap that I've just held on to after all these years. No matter how dusty or... Like, I even have a scar right here from a spider bite from going into my parents' attic to try and find an old board game after the Angry Video Game Nerd did a thing on it. And me and Brian are like, oh, yeah, we'll definitely play that. And we never did a goddamn thing with it. So I almost lost an eye to a spider for a board game that is sitting in a corner now.
Cool. I approve. I see a CRT there. Brian, do you have a CRT in yours, Brian?
Not in this room. I have it in the other room.
Okay.
So I still have my old. Yep, I kept it. Like I said, Jim is his collection is definitely for gaming is much crazier. I lean more towards the horror and other stuff. But yeah, my CRT is in the other room, and him and I are both still proud owners of our old plasmas, which they don't make anymore because plasma TVs still have, to me, probably the best picture you're going to get for especially film. If you really like watching Blu-rays and everything, I'd say go get one. You probably can't these days, but man, it's just so good.
Oh, speaking of, they are also built like tanks. For as finicky as plasmas can be, like how you have to stand it up for like 3 hours if it's been laying down and moving around before you should turn it on so you don't fuck up the plasma. This back here is a 2011 Panasonic Viera. And this has been with me since the start of the page. Yes, this this beautiful girl right here. And while we were recording one of our earlier drinking game videos, it was at my old apartment at the time. And, you know, as I'm trying to set up all the connectors for the capture equipment and the camera and shit like that, I had one of those old school, like, lamppost lights that went like 7 feet in the air, light at the top, the little metal base at the bottom. Little did I know this thing was not grounded at all. So as we're recording, like I'm moving cables around, and the HDMI cable from the side port on here went against the base of this lamp, and it basically made like a welding laser. Like literally started to it made this full electrical current that cut through the base of this.
Wow.
All the inputs on the side of the TV.
Oh no.
But all the inputs in the back still work, and
Okay.
the TV still works 100% fine. And we're 14 years later. So like
Nice.
you can completely destroy a whole section of this TV and it'll still be fine with all the redundancies.
They don't make them
They
like
don't-
that anymore.
Not at all.
That's my love of electronics too. Is old school electro. They really put a lot into them. They're kind of dangerous some situations like yours, Jim. But you still, Brian, you have all those entries. Did you still hold on to any VHS copies, or do you upgrade?
I still have some VHS. I still
All
have
right.
the original Wolfman. I have my Night of the Living Dead. And then similarly, when I do go places, if I find horror VHSs, I have a small collection of that.
Okay.
I still will pick those up because I still have VHS player as well. Because when I was a kid, I would record a million. If I wasn't recording WWF Raw, I was recording horror movies off of whatever channel I could find it. And that's where I probably learned my earliest editing, especially if there was channels that had commercials, because I would try and pause and then overwrite like as quickly as I could on the fly. So yeah.
Mhm. I try to since I'm newer to it, I try to watch the classics first on VHS first.
Okay.
'Cause I
like that.
have a lot of them. That's what got me into it. Is friends like Little Movie Perp, Rhea, Bruce, being a movie talk for some years. Like you're not watching horror, and then you start collecting VHS and passing up the horror. But so I've got a big collection, and I try to watch it there. I still haven't seen Hellraiser all the way through. That's the next one on my list. I was planning to watch that this week. The first
Okay.
Hellraiser. Yeah.
Phew, that's another big franchise. If you're going to sit down and go through all those, you got a lot of movies there.
I just want to I only have the first one on VHS. I want to give
Okay.
the first one a shot. Yeah.
Nice.
Any love of music, records, tapes? What kind of
Oh, yeah.
kind of music you guys like, Brian and Jim?
So Jim will talk longer here because he is an actual musician.
Oh, cool.
But
I'm a
he
drummer. I'm not a
also-
musician. Don't give me too much credit, Brian.
See, I was trying to be nice to you once. I was even going to offer them up a picture of your simple Jim, but I didn't do that. Jim.
Be the perfect avatar. We can get to that.
Yeah. But no, like, so music, it's funny. Jim is of that. I feel like a lot of people get of this generation where you hit a certain age and you go, I no longer like new music. I no longer like music beyond a certain date. I have my old CD collection. Unfortunately, most of my physical jewel cases are gone. Never got into vinyls. But
Right.
I
Right. You won't get your wall lifetime music guarantee.
yeah.
Either way.
I'm always on the search for new music. I have a lot of like my favorites, but I started doing like a challenge a couple years ago where it's Rolling Stone had a list of 500 best albums of all time, and I decided I was like, I'm gonna listen to all of them, and I didn't realize how friggin' long, because some of those albums are like a compilation of someone's like greatest hits. It's like Otis Redding and his greatest hits, and it's like 56 songs, and you're like, what the shit? Like, this is gonna take forever.
Wait. So for a list of the 100 greatest albums, they put greatest hits albums on there.
500 greatest albums.
Still, they put greatest hits albums on.
Oh
there?
yeah, they're complete cop outs.
That's cop out bullshit.
Yeah.
I
Um,
disavow.
so and the challenge for me is I want to listen to the album from the beginning till the end. And
Yeah.
even if it's a genre or an artist I don't like, I'm gonna suffer through it. And that's just, I'm a person who likes lists, and I like trying to go through challenges, if you will. So yeah, like I'm when people say they like everything, if you listen to my Spotify or something, you will literally go from like Hans Zimmer to hard rock to underground rap to something, like it's going to be all over the place. I don't have all these qualifiers if I hate this, this, and this, and this. So yeah, I'm all over the place. And then there's Jim.
I am stuck in my ways. I can admit that. Like I listen to, some hip hop if I hear a song that like grabs me, like, I'll listen to that. I'll listen to jazz. Like I've gone to see jazz shows before. Like I've gone up to New
That'd be
York to
fun.
watch. It is fun. Like every jazz, like a lot of jazz clubs are kind of the same. Like you just have to go in there knowing it's going to be small. You're going to be cramped, but it gives you that intimate kind of like, you're going to be like 5 feet away from like, so like Brian said, I play drums in a band. I play in a band with my brother. The band's called Fusion 35. It's kind of a fusion of like Foo Fighters and Helmet and kind of push those two together. I actually have like a spare cymbal and rack tom over there. Just this room's a mess right now, but yeah, I have gear and equipment everywhere, and like it's fun. Like I grew up music wise, like my parents put me into piano lessons, and it's the thing I wish I kept up with, because if you can play piano, as they say, you can play anything. But I hated lessons and I hated applying myself and practicing the way that they wanted me to practice. So I said, screw this, I'm just going to hit shit. And luckily I'm able to keep a beat enough that it kind of stuck for all these years since I was 14. And also thank God for the old days of the internet, because when I was like 14 and still taking these lessons, I would be the one setting up the times with the teacher through email to be like, all right, come on over on this Saturday. So eventually I just stopped emailing her back. And my parents had no idea how to work in computer and never thought to get her phone number so they couldn't contact her. So they'd ask me, they're like, Jimmy, what happened to the piano teacher? I'm like, I don't know. She's not responding to my emails. It's so weird. And then, I just moved on from there. But yeah, I'm definitely like, I'm a rock guy. Like I'm very much more into like up tempo rock, so like metal, punk, stuff like that. Huge fan of new metal. I'm still a new metal kid at heart. Like I'm about to be 40, so that means my formative years were in the late 90s. So Korn, Biscuit, love it all. I don't care what people say about it. I'll go to my
no,
that shit.
it's having a big resurgence right now. I think people are really getting into it. Yeah,
as they should. Learn to have a little goddamn fun with their music. That's what they need to have. But
how many pairs of jorts and Thrasher shirts and I don't know if new metal kids wore the baggy pants, the black ones with all the chains on them. There's a name of there's a brand name of it, but you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, Junkos. Yeah, Junkos with the Thrasher shirt and yeah, like just and the jorts. Yes, the Junko jorts with the Thrasher shirt. Yes, doing like just a full like Fred Durst. Was that you? Like,
so I can see that.
I didn't have the Junkos because I was too cheap, and my parents were too cheap to buy me them.
Yeah,
but I had like just jeans and khakis that were way too big for what I needed, even for my fat ass. And for a while, all of my shirts for a good couple years were just all from Hot Topic. All the ironic like sayings and crap like that, or just a band T-shirt like a Korn or Pantera. I had a Korn wallet. I had multiple wallet chains. And there's even a time when I had a spiked dog collar and wrist spikes. So
what about the belt? You need the spiked belt too.
What's that?
The spiked belt.
I did not have the spiked belt. I was just short of that. I missed out. I'm total poser. The dog collar wasn't enough, so without the belt, the whole look was ruined. It was terrible. So yeah, like I was a mall rat. I was at the mall all weekend, every weekend for, basically high school. That whole kind of deal. I was that kind of scene kid.
Those are good times. You can't get that much anymore.
All right, Brian, it's your turn.
I will say I'm laughing at Jim, but where I grew up, I'll just say hip hop.
Yeah, talk about the flame pants, Brian. Bring up the flame pants.
I will. I'll get to the flame pants.
And the dragon pants.
I got it. I got to start. So hip hop was the thing. And I grew up in Northeast Philly in a school that had bars on the windows. I'm just going to put it that way. It wasn't the best area. So I was full hip hop, FUBU, South Pole, all that shit. I wore it all the baggy stuff. Did get the blonde tips in my hair at some point and some of that shit. You know, and then high school kept some of that, but then I always love dragon shit, and as much as Jim hates it, would I get the jeans that had the big dragon up the side and the flame? Absolutely. Would I wear the oversized like jerseys? Sure. Like, you know, but then I also have a very hilarious picture of me and my brother where you do the mall photo, and I had like a FUBU baby blue turtleneck with my big chain down here with you know, a cross, and it was a whole thing. Did I have different color Tims to go with all my outfits? Absolutely. You know, that was just
man,
Rich
with
kid
the
over here.
with the dragon pants. Oh man, that's
Yeah.
going way too hard at school. Way
I
too
mean,
hard.
Raya, he wore those pants the day I met him.
and you know what? It
Now
still
here
worked,
we are.
Jim. It still worked. You know,
Yeah, I was
like
desperate. I was desperate. That's what I'm saying.
by the way, I did want to ask you guys, because I'll send it to you separately through Twitter. Because Jim earlier mentioned how simple he is, and I made the joke. Do you guys like Tropic Thunder?
I knew exactly where that was from when you said
Okay.
yes, Simple Jack, Simple Jim.
So I just sent it on Twitter that on our shared thing because I couldn't figure out how to share it here. I just want to point out like how ridiculous, like we still love busting each other's balls so much that like we hired our friend who does all of our artwork. His name is Broken Optics.
Who's
Rob,
we
who
on
does-
hiring this?
Okay,
who's
so I
the we
hired
here?
him.
I'm working on it already.
And
And Max, if you
literally
can share it. Make sure you share it for the peoples.
the
Yeah.
joke was like, I was like, you know, the Jim says that term way too often. He's like, I'm very simple. I'm very simple. So Simple Jack, Simple Jim made much very sense. So I sent him a picture that Jim actually is making that face as he's drinking Keystone Light. He's holding up his case of Keystone Light, and he has his game controller upside down. So it's just like, that was just
I like it.
something fun for us, but we'll throw it in there every once in a while. And yeah, I figured you guys with loving movies, I still say Tropic Thunder is one of the funniest movies out there.
Oh,
Yeah. So
drink a
there's
beer
Simple
and
Jim.
watch Tropic Thunder.
Oh yeah.
That'd be a
Always
fun,
upside
that would
down.
be a fun watch party. That would be a fun watch party.
That would be yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be
Has
I would have to
anyone-
think of an interesting drinking game for that.
Has anyone gotten so like just drunk, I guess, like on your show that they're like, yeah, thanks, drink a game, play a beer?
Play a beer.
I think I've done that.
Well, Jim's definitely gotten drunk. We have had guests. Here's what I'll say. What is funny, every time we've had someone on, we always give a disclaimer now. Like, people do get drunk, and you know, as you get drunk, you may say some things. Some people are like, "Can you edit out the parts where I said X, Y, and Z like after the fact?" And we're like, "Yeah, of course."
I love
Like,
those.
I edit everything, but that is like, you know, we talked about how we started. It was game reviews and everything else. But while we're doing a podcast, the thing we enjoyed the most about it is just meeting new folks. And like you guys, you know, like we get to see you guys at Too Many Games, but then also most of the people we're talking to is all the folks that we've met over the podcast. You get to meet in real life, and that's part of the fun. And sometimes we get super drunk. Like the first time we met Dan from Console Wars, who was just on your show, what was it, a few weeks ago or not even a month
Mhm.
ago. He literally came to Jim's house. We did a power hour. Before we got started recording, we pre-gamed, and each of us had like 7 or 8 beers. And then we proceeded to have a power hour and finished a whole tower of beers. And that was our very first meeting with Dan. And
Nice.
it's just fun for those reasons. So yeah, people
Dan-
have definitely gotten drunk plenty of times and said a lot of crazy stuff.
Dan's very much a what you see is what you get kind of guy. Like, he is the same guy online that he is when you meet him in real life. Salt of the
Mhm.
earth for you.
Rhea, they're not good for me because I only have a pregame. I could only do 1 or 2. I was getting buzzed on 2 beers at Too Many Games.
Max, you're selling it wrong. You say I only have a pregame. You say I don't have a problem. That's how you
Yeah,
should be
you
selling
just
it.
say I'm
Okay.
a cheap date, and that's all it takes. I mean, the amount of people
Yes.
have come on who don't drink, and that's the thing. We're like, you know, we've met plenty of people. You don't drink, that's cool.
Yeah, whatever.
It's people like Dan and some of our other buddies who like, oh, you want to do a drinking game. Then it gets interesting. Like we're not going to push drinking, but we'll say, you know, we can hang and have fun. Well,
Cool.
except Jim when he gets lost at places like Too Many Games because he falls asleep and I lose him and think I have to call his wife and tell him I don't know where he's at.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's only happened almost every time. It's fine. It doesn't matter.
Well, since we're back on the topic of Too Many Games, which is probably like one of my favorite conventions, if not my favorite. Like I've gone to Comic-Con like 4 times, in, like different parts of my life, and most recently, like I went twice in like 2 years in a row, and I was like, this is not as fun as I just had at Too Many Games, like, you know, a few weeks earlier, and that was like last year. So I think it's just because like, yeah, just actually getting to like interact with people in a sustainable environment that's not just like overwhelming and just like there's so much to do and like you trying to maximize your time the entire time. Like it was really just like, oh yeah, let's walk around the floor. Oh, everyone's hanging out off site, and that's, you know, that was like an amazing experience for me because I actually got to meet people and have substantial interactions with them. It wasn't just like, oh yeah, I met this person like, you know, in passing or whatever. So that's what I really appreciated about the convention, and I'm really eager to, you know, make it there this year as well. Like I think that's gonna have to happen again. So.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking about to. I just had to figure out what I'm going to do this time. I was thinking I wanted to go to that hotel that everyone stays at, but that sells out quick.
Oh, you actually can't this year. So quick behind the curtains thing.
Okay.
So because the World Cup is actually going to be in Philly this year, so they are expecting an absolute deluge of people coming to the area and just eating up all the hotel spaces. So they actually a month or 2 ago, the event sent an email out saying the hotel connected to it is only for guests, only for people with passes and stuff like that. So for one, you can even get in the lottery to get it if you wanted to. But all the surrounding ones, like the prices are batshit insane this year. Like Brian and I finally booked a room and we were even just like, fuck. But like doing what was it, like 500 for 2 nights, and that was like or is it 800? It was 800, wasn't it?
It was something stupid. And yeah, we we go to the same place usually every year. But yeah, to Jim's point, yeah, I was like, why are these so crazy? And I was gonna try and guess a room at that actual hotel where the after party always happens. But yeah, they sent out that thing. If you happen to book with them and you don't have like a vendor pass, they're gonna be like, yeah, you're gonna have to, your room will get canceled. Just be aware. So kind of crazy. Yeah.
Now I was thinking about like Rhea's good at figuring out B&B, so I was going to try to find a B&B in Phoenixville because that's a cool place. But maybe it's the same. Maybe it's the same situation there. I don't know.
What I will say is
find a B&B, it'll just be expensive probably.
Yeah, but I will say the prices of the B&Bs were way better. Jim and I considered it, but like I said, we will probably have Dan. We may have another buddy. We didn't want to deal with the potential of drinking too much in a place that has to get like, so we were like, you know what, stay at a hotel, they'll clean it. You know, it's probably better for what we're going to do. So yeah.
You have to do some real damage to get dinged by a hotel. Airbnb owners, they can be some fickle bitches.
Yeah.
True that. Yeah. What has been your favorite find like at Too Many Games up until now?
So for me, I've gotten 2 NES Super NES games I've always wanted, which was Link to the Past and Super Castlevania 4. And I don't think it was like crazy. I think that like I maybe paid $30. Now they're not complete in box; they're just loose. But I got those, and then ironically, it was one of the first times we met James Rolfe, AVGN, and I got him to sign those for me because like I know he did videos on them and loved them. So yeah, getting those was pretty cool. The horror nerd in me, I have every Resident Evil already, but I'm a sucker for the PlayStation long box games. They had Resident Evil 1 there last year. What was it, last year, Jim? And we're like looking at it. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll get it. And then I was like, wait a second. I thought it was like $100. And then I realized there was another 0. I was like, oh no, I'm not doing that. And yeah, sure enough, I was even wrong about just being 100. It was like $1,300 just for a long box game. I was like, yeah, nope, way too much for me. So I keep to cheaper games for sure. But getting those two Super NES ones, that was like a childhood collection, getting back the games I sold off. So those would probably be my picks.
Yeah. Actually, Brian, it's funny when you're bringing up Resident Evil. So 2 years ago, you found it disc only, and they wanted about what, $120 for that, and it was a beat up disc too. And then last year, you found the long box complete that it must have been sealed or something too, that they wanted 1,000.
So crazy,
something insane. Like, unfortunately, in this day and age, going to conventions for like big name games is kind of a crapshoot. You're not going to find really deals anymore. Like everyone, it's the thing where it's like if they know what they have, they're going to try. That's how they make their money. All these vendors, for the most part. So, like, it's not made off guys like me who walks around and like I have a TurboGrafx 16. Anytime I go to too many games, I'm always like, I have to buy at least one Turbo game. So
Yeah.
it could be like, it's just a little rule I have for myself. So even then, like, even to find something that's not amazing, I'm still probably gonna be spending $50 for that. And because I'm nuts and I have all this bull crap behind me, it's got to be in the jewel case with the manual, just for, you know, display shelf candy purposes as well. Like, I'm not just gonna start getting the Who cards. I need to have the whole goddamn shebang. So but for my favorite thing from a Too Many Games, I'm going to go with the thing that I didn't buy. And for years, I've been talking about getting a Vectrex on this show. Years. I would love to get a Vectrex. I pre-ordered the Vectrex Mini. Like, that'll be very cool when that comes in. But I want the real thing. And about 7 years ago, there was one there in good condition for about $250. And I went, 250. That's still a lot of money. How much am I really going to use it? Dumbass me. Now that would have been the steal of a century, because you're spending at least $500 for a beat up one at any of these conventions. And these aren't things that you find in a store. And these aren't things that you can get off eBay for less than like $100 in shipping alone. So yeah, that was a definite, that's like the one that got away.
My one that got away was, I was looking at the Sega Menacer, and it was a really good in box. It was like $80 complete. And I was like, I'm going to think about that. And I went back and it was gone. And then I found a really beat up one, and I paid almost the same price, and it was missing pieces.
Wait,
like, what's it got?
Was that the same year the first time we met you? Because I remember you walking around, I think, with a Menacer. Yeah. So that was the beat up one you settled for,
the beat up Menacer.
Yeah, I remember that. Yep.
Brutal.
Yeah. Wait, was it last year also, Jim? Didn't they have like the 2000 Godzilla display from Taco Bell for sale?
Yeah. Yes, they did.
Yeah.
The 1998 movie one.
Yeah, the cutout of Godzilla from, was it 98? Whatever it was, that terrible Matthew Broderick one. But it was literally, and it has like the Baja Blast thing, but it was like a display from Taco Bell. Someone was selling that. Once again, a ridiculous price, like hundreds and hundreds of dollars. I really kind of wanted that, but if it wasn't so damn expensive, I totally would have gotten that.
I think mine, and Max was there with me when this happened, and maybe this is just me, just walking away out of, just being stubborn, but there was this vendor selling this PS Vita game, Dragon Crown, and it's from the folks who made Vanillaware. Yes, the publisher, Vanillaware. And I wanted that game because I was like low-key, like lightweight collecting PS Vita, starting out with like the ones that I actually really cared about. So this vendor, Max and I bought like over $100 worth of stuff, including between us, like we kind of bundled it so we can get a deal or a better, offer a better price for it, or they would accept a better price. But anyway, I was like, oh, can we add Dragon's Crown on there? Could you add it on for like $20? And he's just like, no, it's $30. And I was like, it's looking back, I'm like, I should have just paid the $30. But I was like, okay, but we're spending a lot, me and my friend, I would love to have this game. And he was like, nope, hard 30. And I was like, I mean, you have it right here. I would love to buy it right now. And he's like, nope, I'm happy to take this back with me. And that's it. And I was like, that made me think, the gears in my head started spinning. this person would rather take inventory back to their store and not have a definitive buyer for it than have someone offer them money for it right now. And
So,
out
yeah.
of principle, I didn't buy it. But in retrospect, I would have bought it thinking about supporting, a vendor who came all the way to the convention. But
No,
in
fuck
that
him.
moment,
No,
out of principle,
no.
I was just like, dude, we spent so much with you right now, and now you're just gonna be a jerk and just like you're gonna hold on to this game. And I'm like, screw you, I'm gonna go buy it online. But
Yeah.
it's not as satisfying as finding it out in the wild. So
The-
I'm mad about the experience being taken away from me, or that's my memory. That's probably like the one that got away, and the least fun interaction I had at the convention so far.
Well, I have to say now that I'm actually getting good at haggling now, Rhea. After that, but you did the right thing. That guy was a jerk. He's very rare to have a shop owner be that adamant about not giving you a deal if you're spending that much money, even if it's popular items. I've had such better experiences than that douche, for sure. And the funny thing was, I was telling Rare, yeah, you got to do this and that, and I hadn't even tried it first, acting like I'm an expert haggler, and she would go for it that time. You got some really good deals besides that guy, though.
So before Max tried to like teach me how to haggle, I would be that
I
person
didn't do it
who would be like, "Hi, how much is this game?" They're like, "Oh, it's 50." And I'm like, "Oh, would you take 45?" Like it's just barely
That's
haggling.
right. Stand your ground.
So Max has been telling me like, like how to be ambitious and ask for like a ridiculous price, so then you land right in the middle where you would have been fine with it.
Well,
anyway.
I always
But
go
there's
lower
just
than
so
I'm
many
willing to pay. Yeah.
Yeah, there's like so many tips and tricks of the trade that like I didn't even realize. So yeah, it's been fun. Haggling is fun.
I'll give you my two easy ones I do at those conventions, and I also go to horror conventions a lot, and this always seems to work, especially if you're going on Sunday when vendors don't want to box stuff up. I'd say have actual cash on you, like in hand.
Yes.
Be looking at it, and to Max's point, you offer like, all right, it's $50. Could you do 35? And like you have the cash in hand. It's on Sunday. They're thinking about boxing up. They'll probably offer you something and be like, all right, well, I got 50 here, so maybe I'll do this with that. Can you do it right now? I got the cash right here. They love when they don't have to do credit cards. They have the cash. They don't want to pack shit up. So yeah, that's always, and Jim knows I have the gift of gab. I can
Sure does.
I can talk a lot. So yeah.
Yeah, that's probably the best thing is that's all I have in my wallet left. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to get more. And then they
Yeah, you
don't
just
wanna
show
pass
them like,
it up.
this is
Yeah.
it. I got it.
Yeah.
Take it or leave it. Yeah.
I do have a collector question since we're all collectors here for a long time, and you have some shelves there. How do you feel about still collecting in 2026? Are you still going to do it, or is it still just the really like the grails that you're going for? Or you still get a lot of stuff, or you kind of like I'm gonna go watch the stuff I have already have. I still have a series where I collect things. I have to pick and choose a little bit more because I have like 500, 600 VHS tapes everywhere. So I have. What do you guys feel about that, including you, Rhea? Because you were collecting a lot of Switch games. Do you still feel the eager to collect more, or are you more choosy now?
I want to hear from Jim and Brian, and then I'll share my grievances with physical media
Grievances?
in 2026, and specifically in 2026. But yeah, go ahead, guys.
Yeah. In 2026, gaming is rough, right? Like I'm probably limiting myself to 3 or 4 new games a year that I'm really willing to go out and collect for. I do like that. Like if you're in the wild, you're gonna find something. I don't have much in a collection I need outside of like what I already have. And unfortunately, digital makes it so easy for gaming, especially. And then when half the games are nothing but a digital code, it kind of like it sucks that that's the case in so many spots. Movies, I'm still very adamant. Like I keep a tracker in an Excel file for all the horror movies. So if I find one I don't have and it's not an arm and a leg, I'm just gonna buy it. So that'll never go away. I did for a while go on like Facebook and find bundles, and you get some weird interactions. I'll say that. Like when someone says like I have 50 movies for sale, realize like you're probably gonna meet them somewhere, and they're they're probably going to be a little questionable because I've bought those bundles too. But I actually
Dollar
now
General
have a-
parking lot.
Yeah, you're always
Yeah,
like
baby.
somewhere neutral. Yeah. but if you want to find like good deals, like honestly, physically, I don't know around you guys, but like we still have a lot of garage sales around us. Sometimes you can find treasure troves. 90% of the time, it's nothing good. There is that excitement, but it's waning down. And buying new movies, similarly, I don't want to put out $30 for a brand new Blu-ray or something like that. So I'm much more of the used physical copy guy, and I'll always stick with that. My horror merchandise, I do have a lot of random things. Like I have a Jason mask signed by everyone who played Jason.
Oh, wow.
In my collection. Like I have a lot of horror stuff like that. So I'm leaning more towards things of that nature now for like my physical collection.
Cool.
Yeah, as far as gaming, collecting physical goes, I'm mostly out. Unless there's something that we get requested for through our Patreon as a review request. For the most part, I'm not getting any more retro because I have so much crap at this point. And once I got to the point where like my designated game room was like it's overflowing, I'm like, I kind of need to slow down. I don't have anywhere to put a lot of this crap anymore. Besides, the prices for games are just so astronomical at this point that it's just not worth it. Goodwills don't have games anymore. They throw them all right online. Garage sales, if you find anything, people either know what I have, so they overcharge you, or the condition is just such crap that like it's not even worth buying. And honestly, when it comes to more modern stuff, every GameStop within 20 miles of Brian and I is gone. Like they are just they're just gutting them. And say what you want about GameStop, all the criticisms of them are completely deserved, but it was still like just the most convenient place to go to get somewhat decent deals on used versions of games that came out like a couple months ago. And there's a thing to be said for that. Besides the fact that like, Targets and Walmart are maybe the only places left to carry physical media. So most places just aren't doing it anymore. So like, I don't collect as much just bull crap in general as I used to, but I've like shifted to like random things. Like my newest thing is like once every 3 paychecks, I buy. Have you ever heard of the company Eagle Moss? They make little miniature. What they do is they make little miniature ships from different media. So their big thing that they got started with was Star Trek ships. So like I'll get this like 4-inch long replica like Enterprise refit or Miranda class, and I have them sitting at my work desk right now. Or going back and getting things that I've lost or had stolen over the years, like right over here in this fancy acrylic case I got off of Amazon is Crush Card Virus from Yu-Gi-Oh! I used to be big into Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic the Gathering as well. So come, what is it, I want to say like 2007, they had Yu-Gi-Oh! Had a series called the Gold League or the Gold Packs. So it was a bunch of special cards that were like reprints of stuff that you could only get by winning tournaments. So Crush Card over here was the chase card from that whole thing. And I pulled it in my very first pack I ever bought. It was like the pull of a lifetime as far as a trading card game goes for me. Years down the line, I got bad with money in a lot of different ways. And I had to start selling shit in order to make bills and crap like that and not get too far into credit card debt. But very recently, I was like, fuck this. I want my goddamn Crush Card back. So eBayed it, got a very nice condition one. It's like an $80 card at this point. So still probably way too much for, a thing I'm just going to keep in a case and keep on top of my TV over here. But God damn it, that was my biggest pull of my life. So that's like one of those memories I want to cherish forever and just have here. So it's like a little trophy for myself.
Is that the one that kills all, or it banishes all 3,000 life points and up monsters from your opponent's deck and hand?
Holy shit, that's specific.
Right.
Sorry, I didn't Google this, but like I feel like that's one that like removes from play your opponent's cards or banishes them to the graveyard or puts them there. Like
Rayano's ball over here. Allow me to read it off the card.
My username's based off of Harpy Lady. So.
Oh shit! I was wondering where the Harpy part came from. That's awesome. Yes, you tribute one dark monster with 1,000 or less attack. Check all monsters your opponent controls in their hand and all cards they draw until their third turn after the activation, and destroy everything with 1500 or more attack.
Oh, that is OP AF. Yeah, no, you could ruin someone's life with that card.
Well, now the card game meta is basically you have to win one turn or the first turn, or you don't have a chance in hell. It's basically unplayable at this point, so, unless you're like insane.
Fair. Yeah. Let me see. As far as like collecting physical media 2026, I definitely agree with Brian and Jim. There's like, I'm either like, it has to be something like that's near and dear to me, or otherwise I'm just out of the game, you know, like I'm content with what I have. Like a lot of stuff I haven't even played yet because I'm so infatuated with, you know, the idea of like owning something and not really thinking about when am I realistically going to be able to play it. But there's also this, you know, feeling of like I'm never going to see this again, or like this is a limited run game. There's this like there was a Nintendo Direct where they announced a Nintendo Switch 2 port of the Indiana Jones game.
Yes.
And I'm just like, I'm going to buy it, but I will literally never open it or play it. Like, that's a perfect example of just like me just having that compulsion of like, I know that this game is never going to, or like it's going to be very limited, especially because it's complete on cart. Like it's such an anomaly that that's what the allure is, not the desire to play the game. So it's another sort of like, it's really, really hard to describe that feeling to someone who isn't a collector, who doesn't do the whole like complete in box or, you know, enjoy the hunt, you know, the thrill of the hunt. You know, if that's not, you know, their jam, then it's like really hard to like really get them into that mindset or like to put them in your shoes as far as like why you're so jazzed about it. So that's why I love YouTube and like conventions and stuff, because y'all just get it. Like it's varying degrees of like, you know, engagement, but everyone's on the same page about how cool and important it is. Like this is literally what the convention is about. So yeah, I don't know, that's just something that like I love that I can like share that feeling with other people and they just get it. So yeah, anyway, that's one of those things about physical media that is the allure of, you know, ownership. And I think Jim, you mentioned that like, yeah, you want like, you know, the tangible, you know, game within your collection, like, and you don't want to let it go, like, because it has that intrinsic value. Like in my opinion, intrinsic value like kind of usurps like the monetary value a little bit. Like even if like something is worth like, you know, tens or hundreds of dollars or whatever, there's like this, I can't let it go. Like there's, yeah, it's just like that, you know, feeling of like being able to actually hold this game in your hand and not just have like, you know, a digital copy on a hard drive. It's just different. So yeah, anyway, I appreciate that y'all get that. So in varying forms of media for sure.
Yeah. No.
I've slowed down a little bit on the gaming collecting, but I'll still try to get a Switch card or Switch 2 card. Xbox
or Saturn games. Yeah, you like like if there are specific Saturn games too, right?
Yeah, I really just sold my Saturn collection. The only thing I really want is the light gun games. I got the House of Dead. It's only the disc though.
Nice.
Because House of Dead, and I have like 6 CRTs in my basement. Sony Trinitron to play it on.
Man of taste. And
I still go get VHS. Every once in a while I'll get a new movie. I used to have addiction to ordering steelbooks and 4Ks, and so I still collect, but something that's a lot cheaper. VHS, even the horror gets expensive still, but VHS you could get a lot of great deals still. That's what's exciting about it for me. I've also because I've also been trying to cut expenses. I'm going more off the grid, even though we're on YouTube now. I've cut streaming. My new friend Logan, he's really off the grid. He's like, he's like, the reason I got VHS is I wanted to watch a movie and it was $4 to rent VOD. He's like, F that. And I cut everything. So now he only watches what's in his living room and YouTube. That's it. But I've also been having a lot of fun just going to the library and renting stuff. It's even better. Like at least in my, I don't know if not every public library is the same, but in Pittsburgh, we have huge library system, Carnegie Library, and they have, look at this, like Nirvana.
Oh shit, nice.
Like I just rented
Nice.
this, and people aren't doing it. It's like if you're late, we'll just renew it, and you don't have to pay a fee. And I'm like, I got all kinds of great movies, better than Blockbuster in there, especially the one in Pittsburgh, in Oakland. Huge movie CD collection. I've been getting a lot of joy out of that, just borrowing, even not even know. And that also helps because my wife's like, you're running out of room. So I'm like, these are going back at least.
The half price books out there in PA are also pretty decent. Like I found a lot of like good finds like in the secondhand shops out there. Like where I'm at in the Bay Area in California, it's just like it's barren. It's like everything like that I buy as far as like game media, a lot of it is from online, and like I said, there's not that it's nice to like own the game for sure because of that desire to own it, but also like it's not as fulfilling as finding it out in the wild. And I can remember pretty much everything that I found out in the wild with Max and at the convention, like because it was that thrill of being able to see it and, you know, being able to hold it immediately. It's that instant gratification too that is really, really meaningful too. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, the finding it in wild, the stories of talking to people, the negotiation, all of it, like it leads to a memory, and you are going to be more inclined to like, you got it now, you're gonna go home, you're gonna enjoy it versus it's in a digital library or you buy it in bulk or you do whatever. Yeah, it makes it way more meaningful for sure.
One of my new friends, Logan, is on camera the first time we're meeting, and I was like, "Can I film you? I'm doing a little series." He's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Let's come over. I'll show you my collection." And now we're planning to meet up again and go to Ohio and go hunting for VHS. And this is a little preview for people that don't watch the series. This is from my channel. He has a friend with a 75-year-old guy that made a Blockbuster in his basement. I was like, "Dude, we got to go to your friend's house, film there, and then go on a hunt all together. Me, Logan, and the 75-year-old guy."
That's awesome.
Hopefully your Blockbuster experience. So I didn't go to Blockbuster a lot as a kid because my parents were just like, "We're not paying to rent movies. That's bullshit." So I eventually talked them into that. And one day we rented like a game. I think it was like Banjo-Kazooie or something. And we go to return it. And we were about 4 minutes late, I have to say, from the designated return time. And we walk in there and they went, "Well, that's full late fee." I mean, if we're talking like $9, so it was like, you know, a $3-4 late fee. My dad, the amount of rage to build in him. I watched a 60-year-old man, because I was born late, take a car key and rip up a laminated Blockbuster card with a dull car key, just out of pure fucking mother piece of goddamn $4. And obviously never went back to a Blockbuster after that. But we, suffice to say, we're Hollywood video people after that point.
Okay. They were too expensive, Blockbuster. But they did have, I instead of renting there, I just got my physical media there because I was poor. That you actually got really good deals when they sold the stuff.
Yeah, when they because on the shelf for a year or so, and then they would sell it at like a real discount price.
The majority of my Sega Genesis games came from there. Movies, oh yeah.
Oh, dude, the rental experience, whether it be movie or game, like, and you're stuck with it for the weekend or for a few days, like, it forced you. You're like, either I'm gonna get good at this game, you're gonna figure out how really good or bad it is, and you don't have unlimited options. So, like, yeah. Like you had to go through it. Whereas nowadays, 10 minutes into a game or movie, you're like, I could stream a million other things, or I could do X, Y, and Z. So yeah, the renting is something that shows in most people's generations these days. You're on Netflix. How long do you spend actually just scrolling through shit before you pick something? And then you end up landing on the same movie you watched 25 times because it's your comfort one anyway. Like we all do that dumb shit. So
yeah, you waste half the night doing that, and then you probably don't even finish the movie too.
Like, no, you start it, and then you're on your phone. Yeah, you're like, yeah, I've already seen this. Like, or I don't.
If you don't fall asleep.
You know what me and my friend did yesterday? We were doing the scrolling through like YouTube and stuff to find, and then I always tell people the internet and algorithms aren't as bad as you think. When you engage with content that's good for you,
Yes.
and you thumbs it up, and you actually, instead of stuff that annoys you. So I look for new music, and then 120 minutes, a whole episode from '93 came up of all the live performances on there, and we watched the whole 2 hours of 120
Nice.
minutes from '93, and it was great.
Yeah, I found that too. Like, I'm the one who's way more on the internet than Brian is. Like, way more, to a detriment. But like, I know everyone out there complains about their algorithms and the stuff that comes across your timeline, but like, you kind of make your own timeline.
Yeah.
So if you're miserable on whatever timeline you're on, it's kind of your fault. No one ever wants to take like personal accountability for that.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I keep responding to people I hate. Well, no wonder you're fucking angry all the time. What the hell?
Yeah.
My algorithm's pretty good with the music right now. I like that would not get recommended unless I've MTV 120 minutes. That was a great show. Oh man,
Oh, yeah.
now I want to go back and watch more of that. I got to find more of just like whole episodes.
Max's
Like-
algorithm is just all Matt Pinfield.
Yeah, that would be great. I like Matt Pinfield.
Oh, you
Like-
rolled.
Like for me, not gonna lie, and Max knows this, I kind of went off the grid a little bit, and I fell into this rabbit hole of sourdough and cooking YouTube. And the more I watched it, the more I got like, you know, attached to the creators' lives, watching their shorts and like catching up with them, and their like, you know, little like micro bakeries they run out of their house, and I'm just like, I just want to quit my job and run away to Homestead and make sourdough for the rest of my life.
She got really good. I actually had to stop looking at your X feed, Rhea, because I was like, damn it, I'm hungry.
Oh, yeah.
I was
I
like,
had
you should probably open up a bakery or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to pull out because it was getting a lot. Like my entire kitchen was like covered with flour every day. Like I was experimenting with so many different types of flour, and I was just like, oh, I got to get up and knead my dough. Like I can't leave the house because I have to like make my sourdough, and I have to like make sure it like rises properly, and I have to make sure it proofs, and you know, like put it in the refrigerator
have
a
your
certain time. Blah, blah, blah. Yes, I know. I literally feed my starter every day, even though I don't bake anymore. I'm paranoid about it dying or like, you know, not being primed for when I actually do want to bake. So it creates like this like yeah, to your point about curating your algorithm, like it really does sort of like guide as far as like my mood and, you know, my just like the joy that I feel of like actually engaging with content that is fun to watch, and the creators I get to, you know, kind of get more acquainted with them as well, outside of, you know, just their how-to videos and stuff like that. So yeah, I hear what you're saying too. Like going down like different rabbit holes is always like, you know, a fun way to engage with other folks too, who have this like super niche like weird interests as you and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I gotta go hunting with Jim and Brian for some movies and stuff at some point in the future.
Definitely.
I can feel it, Ray. Should we get to the questions? We have
do
a
it.
few
Yeah,
quick-
that sounds
quick
good. Yeah.
questions, and then whatever else you guys want to talk about, plans for your channel. Doctor Strange, Strange Marvel Theories. He was just mentioning Movie Gallery. I remember Movie Gallery. That's something else I really love about VHS tapes more so than other used media, is there's a lot of different kind of weird, besides Blockbuster and Hollywood Video, there's a lot of like weird rental places that still have the stickers on it. Makes it more special. Like, what the hell rental place was this? But I remember Movie Gallery. There was in my area, there's a grocery store, Giant Eagle, and they had Eagle Video. I really like to get an Eagle Video used one sometime. Figure Drawing has question for Jim. What is better, Star Trek or Star Wars?
As a kid, I would have said Wars, but now I'm definitely more of a Trek guy. It's
Really?
just-
Okay.
the top of Trek just beats the shit out of the best of Star Wars at this point for me. Like, I mean, and especially it probably helps because like you have so many great episodes from like TOS all the way through. I mean, even Enterprise eventually got good. So you have like 6 different
Enterprise is one of my
series.
favorites.
Yeah, you have like 6 different series of like at the very least very good TV, if not like some of the best of all time. And then like I'm not a new Trek fan, so you know when it comes to Discovery or Lower Decks or Picard, I think it's all kind of crap. And then, but you know,
just watch Picard season 3.
I've watched the clips of the. I'm not going to pay for Paramount. I pay for enough crap.
Okay.
But I've watched enough of the nostalgia bait from season 3, and I got the warm and fuzzies from it. But even then, like watching Data fly like a Galaxy class vessel through a Borg cube, I'm like, this is dumb and goofy as shit. But all right, I can do it. Fuck it. It's fun. It's fine. But yeah, like I even like the Kelvin, like the JJ verse of the Star Trek films, even though a lot of the old heads kind of hate them. But yeah, Disney Star Wars really ruined a lot for me. Like I just
Yes.
I don't want to be that guy, but it's just that goddamn bad. And like I knew from the set, I went to the theaters to see Force Awakens like everyone else, and I was like, fuck, that was just literally shot for shot of A New Hope all over again. What are they doing? And then it was just all downhill from there. So
there is some bright spots. I'm right there with you, Jim, but I do like Acolyte was actually surprisingly really good, and then Andor. I love
Andor
Rogue
is
One.
really good.
You at least like Rogue One because that actually adds to the original trilogy.
I loved Rogue One. Like a lot of people shit on Rogue One as being unnecessary and just a cash grab. I thought it was great.
Yeah. Brian, what we know you love horror. What other type of genre? Do you like the Star Wars or Star Trek or sci-fi? Or do you remember? Did you get into Star Wars as a kid?
So I saw Star Wars as a kid. I liked them, but I wasn't obsessive. I can honestly say I've never seen a single Star Trek. I've seen a movie. I don't even know which one it was. But yeah, like I'm into obviously plenty of nerdy shit, and I like sci-fi, but even the sci-fi I like tends to be more the horror sci-fi.
Okay.
But Star Wars, yeah, like as a kid, saw the original. And as my teens, I saw the 1 through 3, and then I don't even know if I've seen all the new ones. Like I started watching them, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then and like to Jim's point, I think too much of the friggin' there's a show about this, and there's a spin-off movie, then there's this. Like the universe got too big, and I'm like, I'm out. I can't do it. I was definitely more of a comic book guy. So Marvel, DC, all that shit. I still actually have a lot of comic books. So anything superhero movie related, I'm pretty much down for. I also was huge into like Spawn and all the McFarlane stuff. I still love that movie, by the way, with John Leguizamo, and that is a guilty pleasure. Terrible CGI, but man, do I love that movie. But yeah, so like I was down with the Marvel movies up until whatever you want to call it, the phase that ended with like the Infinity Gauntlet with Thanos dying. Like then even when I was into that, and I was like, I didn't like every movie. I like certain ones. Then they had a show like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Wasn't willing to go down that rabbit hole. And then there was all these other spinoffs. Couldn't do all that shit. They've definitely gone downhill in this new phase. I like how they're once again, you got to bring back everyone from the original and this like Doom thing. Like,
Brian, that's why they're doing it for people.
Oh, like I know, because they're
like you that are like Infinity War and Endgame is where they like clocked out, and they came back for Deadpool Wolverine, and then they're out again until you bring us something.
Yeah, they're like, we need another cash grab, and it's just odd.
Is it? You think? Are you going to see Doomsday? Maybe
I'm gonna say, oh no, I will see it. It's not a question. So like, but that's the thing, right? Like, I will see it. The last Marvel movie though I saw in theaters was probably the third Spider-Man. Was it Far Away From Home or I can't remember the name of it.
With all the Spider-Man in it,
yeah. So yeah, like as far as other nerdy shit, I think that's probably the other big avenue. Like, I mean, I watch all types of movies. But honestly, my movie watching tends to be like focused more, like I said, horror, things of that nature. So yeah, Star Trek. It's a thing that's always eluded me. I do enough nerdy shit. I didn't need to add that on top of it.
You'll have to send me and Rhea a list of recommended sci-fi horror because I haven't delved into that
Oh, yeah.
yet. So if you know
Oh,
some good sci-fi horror, yeah.
um, oh gosh, I hate that I forgot the rest of the name of the new Alien TV series that
Romulus?
I no no
Oh,
no
no.
Alien
Earth.
Earth.
Yeah.
Alien Earth. Oh my god, that is incredible. Like it's got its moments where it's just sort of like it feels like filler, but overall, like I like the direction that it's going. So yeah, that
Yeah.
would be like my sci-fi fix for sure. And like it's like a nice mix of like horror and like, you know, the intellectual sort of pseudo Star Trek type of stuff. Like yeah, I'm getting like vibes that like Jim and Brian would both like, you know, vibe off of it for like different reasons. So
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm gonna, I mean, I could give you a whole list, but I think the easy list for anything sci-fi horror, you can't go wrong with the Alien movies. The Thing, the remake with Kurt Russell from the 80s.
I have it on VHS.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the whole thing yet.
That Annihilation was actually a randomly underrated one with Natalie Portman. Event Horizon is amazing. The Void, The Fly, like there's plenty of sci-fi horror that you could really get into, and they're all just they're great. So yeah.
Cool. Cal gave us a super chat. Thanks, Cal. Appreciate it.
Woo-woo.
Nice.
What are you all doing to make your YouTube channel grow? I need help with this. Give me tips.
Brian's been a busy beaver this year. Brian, tell me about what the hell you're doing.
Yeah, so I mean, on top of doing a podcast and our reviews, I decided to do I said I love my challenges. I love music. One of the things I wanted to do was like every day this year, I wanted to post a new video game soundtrack or song from a game. And I was like starting to build the list. I was like, fuck, I don't want to make 365 choices for me and Jim because that means half of them are going to be tolerable from Jim. So I was like, let me start reaching out to our
People
friends.
like some.
let me start reaching out to folks, and like I even Raya, you've already provided me some. Like I started reaching out, said, hey, people we know, other gamers, other channels, give me a list of like 5 of some of your favorites. So I have a like huge list that people have been able to send me. So each day I upload and I say it's like best video game tracks, and it's nice. Because it's like a daily upload. I'm discovering new music. And yeah, it's like a quick little intro for that. But then also this month, in preparation for Resident Evil Requiem coming out at the end of the month, I'm running a bracket for best Resident Evil game. So I have like 16 entries, and every day it's like a little daily matchup to lead us right into that Resident Evil Requiem. So I found that shorts are a very engaging thing for folks because no one has a goddamn attention span anymore. And it's just, I want to do ones that I enjoy doing. So I found that those are an easy way to help grow you fast because our growth has been much better than it's been for a long time with the constant uploads of those.
I'll check out those shorts. That's cool. Yes.
Yeah.
It's not to cut you off real quick, Max, but it's really what people have been, or YouTube's been pushing just to compete with like TikTok and Instagram. Like everyone's just pushing out the same kind of vertical short form content anymore. So shorts are the thing that are going to get you the most eyes, probably the quickest. And it will probably hurt your long form stuff, especially as far as like reach or retention goes. But if you're looking just to straight get subscribers and views, that's going to be the way to go. And there's things out there like Opus Clips, which is basically like an AI app that'll comb through something you make and put it in a short
I'll have to
format.
check that out.
Yeah. And there's like free versions and low dollar tiers and stuff like that. But like it AIs it. So it's not always going to be like quality stuff that it gives you, but you might get like one gem in the rough.
StreamYard does some of that, but I was looking for another one too. Opus Clips. Okay. And
CapCut, CapCut does that too, and that's like my editing platform of choice because it's just so user friendly, and the mobile app is also pretty intuitive as well. And yeah, like to Brian's point, I think I love like the level of quality that you make for your shorts because it makes me feel like yes, someone else like cares about presentation. They're not just gonna like spew out like random lol worthy clips.
That's what I do.
But it's crazy because like those clips that like oh, I'll just post this, those take off, like, and then I'm just like, oh, but this one I just edited and that I actually cared about.
It's
Like,
always the one you don't care about.
it's crickets.
Well, what's funny, so Ray, like the crazy thing is I've consistently kept the titles, the general thumbnail, and hashtags, whatever, pretty much the same. So like even like video game music, like there was a running joke for a while, like Jim's picks, all of a sudden the views plummeted. And it made no sense because they weren't bad songs. It weren't even like, well, some of them were bad songs, but some they were just like, some of them were obscure picks, where other ones where it's like a Super Mario game or Halo. And you're like, how is this not getting, like, it never made sense. But on the opposite side, like I'll post to YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. I do all three because they're all about the same, right? Like they like the short form. And it is funny, some things that kind of flop on YouTube just naturally seem to take off on TikTok. Like out of the blue, I'm doing this Resident Evil bracket and it's doing fine for the most part, but I'm literally getting like 20 times of views on TikTok for this one random thing that I'm like, I didn't do anything different. I didn't make the picture like that much more. Just, you never know what's going to take off or where it's going to go. It makes no sense.
That's why I'm so opposite of you and Rhea, Brian. I completely because I know you could put so much time into it and it does really quality work and it might not get views. So I just let AI just show me what you got. Oh, that looks good. Print, post, random stuff every time doesn't coincide with my other shorts. I'm like, okay, see what you got. That title seems pretty good. Post.
I mean,
And
to
then
your point, you're
sometimes it really
making the
does good.
content at the end of the day. Like, it's still your hard work. It's just,
Sure.
you're using technology to help you.
Just
No,
to
but
do it.
I really respect people like you and Rhea and Jim that you put a lot of time and then effort into that. But I'm just like,
Oh, that's not me. That's all Brian. I'll give that asshole
but I've
credit.
been on YouTube, even before I did my own channel, I was helping with someone else's channel. And I just know you could put so much time and effort and then you not get, I don't, it's not all about the rewards. It's about the experience and making content and having fun. But still, I want rewards too. And I'm just like, what? This AI could figure out something better that it might do. This AI might be knowing what people are titling their videos now or what's popping. And then it says, recommended for viral. And I'm like, okay, I want viral posts.
I mean, and well, that's the funny part. Like you talk about pulling clips and Raya, just to your point, like I have legit editing software on my computer. So everything we put up, it's always from that. So like sometimes like I don't look like it's something if I just happen to see, and a lot of times it's the behind the scenes shit that I just find funny. Like I'll literally just put up something just because I think it's funny. Sometimes people agree, sometimes it gets no views, but like other times I'll pull back old clips, like the one where it's me doing stuff to Jim for like the football video we did years ago where I hit him in the nuts and it makes like the Simpsons noise. Like
people like
that's
that one.
That's just funny to me. So I'll put up stuff that is just like I made the simple Jim thing for him. Like I will just do it because I find it hilarious and I spend way too much time editing it and finding the right music for it and doing the sound cues. And then, it'll get 70 views and you're like, oh, fuck. Well, okay. But then like we put up like a random, like, I'll do the messy cut of a podcast. And it's like, what the hell? Why is this one taking off? I've given up. I just try to post the stuff I actually enjoy or if I really think is funny. And
I keep the quality up though. I respect you and Rhea of putting that time and effort. And actually out of our friend group, I was finding myself watching her minute. You put a lot of info in those minute things for Multiverse of Keller. I really appreciate it. Like it's not just the attention span thing. It's just like people are so busy now. Get to the point in a minute is really good sometimes. Like I have a minute. I could take a minute in my day. So yeah, I appreciate it. We do have a couple more questions and I don't want to keep everyone too late because it's going to be midnight close soon here. Let me see. We can all have, Cal likes to bring the heat. We can all have our DVDs. He's basically said you have a nerd shelf. What else? I'm translating for Cal before I get to this. You have a nerd shelf, but what makes you stand out? You have games, etc. in the background. What makes you stand out? He's asking for drink a beer and play a game. I think he shared it. I think the passion's there about, you know, how even just having a beer with pals that's something I love, especially how we get so busy now. I can't wait to share a beer with you guys and go down and talk about some great movies, like the love of it there, even with the horror. You just mentioned randomly like sci-fi horror, and I was like, man, I that's something I need recommendations for.
Yeah.
And I would say not only that, but not to jerk ourselves off real quick, but for Brian and I, like, there is an authenticity here, because like what you hear on this show, how we interact or how we talk to each other on the podcast or in videos, that's us. There's a lot of phonies out there. And I'm sure you guys, like, going to these conventions and being content creators, you meet a lot of people that you just go, oof, okay, I don't really need anything to do with this person. But we've had people who are like in the corner of a room before while we're just talking back and forth, who like listen to the show, and they're like, holy shit, you guys really are just the exact same when you're recording. So like, you know, if you're looking for a little bit of authenticity, yeah, at the very least, around anything else, for better or for worse, you're going to get that from us.
Yeah,
you guys have met us in person multiple times. We haven't scared you two away yet, so you know it's.
I could vouch for that. That's the good vibes I got from going to too many games. Is other than other things is like, I mean, I'm sure there's a few here or there, but the majority of people are pretty genuine, and everyone wants everyone to succeed. There's this, you know, big push for everyone to do good, and it's like a big party for me, you know.
Yeah, and it's like not even any sort of like hierarchy or any sort of like, oh, everyone just like, oh, all the 500,000 and up people hang out over here, and then like all the 10,000 folks hang out over here. Like, no, it's not all that. Like, I was able to just go say hi to everyone, and everyone's just like, oh, hey, yeah, for sure, hey, what's up? Like, I didn't feel like there was any like, yeah, like I said, hierarchy or any like, you know, intimidation of just walking up to a YouTuber and saying, hey, like yeah, like I actually got to interact with James Rolfe like in real time, and that was after like I wasn't even able to get into the autograph line inside the convention to get him in character as the nerd to sign my stuff. So thank you to Jim and Brian for making that happen, and then just like giving Max and I that experience to just like be in like just a casual, like, you know, environment with folks that, you know, we either watch their content or like, you know, they're adjacent to folks that we do watch their content of. And yeah, it was just, you know, all good vibes for sure.
I want to give you one quick little story. Speaking of James Rolfe, so literally, like you guys have been around us enough to know, like, yeah, we hang with a really good group of folks there, like, and we're all different creators and whatever. First time we met him, though, we're at a hotel party, and Jim drank a little too much, and this is how authentic Jim is. He passed out on the table with his head down, and we're meeting him. So I had James Rolfe go behind Jim to photobomb him. And of course, what does Jim do? Instead of stay asleep, make it funnier, Jim wakes up in the middle of it. So like James is like doing the AVGN face right behind Jim, and then Jim like pops his head up, still drunk and tired as hell. But I'm like, yeah, James thought it was funny as hell, but like, yeah, we're just, for better or for worse, authentically us, like Jim said.
A lot of these stories start out with Jim getting wasted for having too many.
There's a disturbing pattern, isn't there?
Every single convention, there are certain things that happen to all of us. Jim gets drunk. Our buddy Dan tends to get very drunk. I have to caretake for both of them. It's a whole thing that usually happens.
Right. Hey, look, at least like when I saw James the day later, and it's not like we're not gonna try to say here like, oh, you know, we're the best boys with James. Like, we've hung out a couple times at conventions, and he's the nicest guy in the goddamn world. But like, you know, if you have an experience like that, like I saw him the next day, I was like, hey, I'll try and stay awake this time. He's just like, like, you know, there's little things that can like give you a little win or like be that guy or at least have a story.
Oh, my friend Crazy Joe, he's helping me out with StreamYard, actually streaming this stream. He knows Angry Video Game Nerd, but he didn't know him as the nerd. He just knew him as a guy that went to the movie conventions. And he's like, and then me and Rhea we're trying to get into that night that we went and met up with you guys at the bar. Joe's like, I was gonna maybe visit him, and I was like, it's this line for the Angry Video Game Nerd is so long. He's like, for him? What? I don't believe it. He just doesn't get the angry because he's more in the movies than the video
Yeah.
games. What? I don't believe it. But he always knows him just by going to like the other type of weird conventions around that area, or just like I think there's Blobfest or some other things that are just
Yep.
just other stuff that he shows up at, and he had no idea he had a YouTube channel.
Yeah, treating these content creators, I hate calling them that, but you know, treating all the YouTubers and stuff like that, just treating them like people, like it just goes such a far way for them. So just be able to like have like an actual conversation.
Yeah.
But he also asks, "Am I supposed to drink a beer now? Because I have a bourbon. Can I have a bourbon instead?"
Yes,
No.
Enjoy the bourbon.
Okay.
Drink it all.
yeah, there is no bourbon hate around here. We love that.
Yeah.
All right. Do we want to wrap it up, Rhea? Like any plans that you want to go check out their channel for sure. I'm looking forward to looking at those shorts. And I want to see what you guys have. I'll go check out that Power Hour that you filmed right before. So when does that go live, or is it live already? Or
So that'll be, so we actually we always kind of post a week later. So tomorrow will be the episode we recorded last week. This one will be next week.
okay. I do second what Ray is saying. I do want drink a beer and watch a movie. I really want to at least do one of those. I would love that.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's also kind of what we do over on our Patreon, because part of our
Okay.
Patreon tiers is we do movie reviews with our buddy Nick from the N Squared podcast. So we make little games out of it, going like we talk about our likes, our dislikes of the movie like everyone else, but then we also make games out of like Metacritic scores and Rotten Tomatoes and trying to like nail the number and stuff like that. And I tend to lose that a lot. I have to do the punishment drinks. So weirdly enough, just my lot in life.
Here, Mitch.
But yeah, even for just normal content, drink a beer, watch a movie, I'm down for that. Give me an excuse.
Cool.
Give me more an excuse.
Yeah. No, thank you guys for having us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun. Thank you guys, really.
Oh yeah, I had a blast. I was a little rusty, so thank you for bearing with me. And on my laptop, not my usual. I don't have my nerd shelf with me.
And folks, I did drop the link to drink a beer and play a game. So please go sub to Jim and Brian over on YouTube.
Woo.
And
Thank you.
you'll find their socials. I'm going to put them. I think Max is going to put them in the description, but I'll also post it as a comment, so folks can check them out there on X/Twitter. And Jim is the drink a beer, play a game Twitter, and then Brian has his Twitter as well. So both will be linked, so you can follow both of them. And yeah, that's all I got. Yeah, thanks y'all for coming on.
All right.
Thank you guys.
Thank you,
really
guys.
appreciate it.
Bye, everyone.
Night,
See you
y'all.
guys.
Cheers, everybody.